How am I going to cut
You're cutting
it?
it. Well, aren't you just going to shave it with the buzz cutter?
Well,
you
I
want
have to cut the
some
big
off?
piece. You want to save the hair, right?
No, I've already saved hair. I saved some hair. Don't worry about it.
Oh.
I mean, if you want to cut some off to save, just cut off a nice...
But it's easier for me to cut, though.
Okay, all right, just cut some off.
Cut off.
So quiet. Still have my eyelashes and my eyebrows, but apparently those are going to be going the way of the dodo pretty soon.
It's really hard for me to see our hair.
Emotionally, you're having an emotional trauma here?
Yeah.
It's going to be more traumatic for you than for me. But I have my little wigs. That has real Chinese hair. Much stronger than mine. The shearing of the sheep. And my Chinese zodiac is a sheep. Okay. Let's see what this looks like if you just cut it off. Ah. Kind of doing the Judi Dench look here. Oh, here. I am starting to look more and more like John Candy every moment. Nurse Ratched is not enjoying this one bit. It's gonna grow back someday.
You look like Xiaofengzi.
Xiaofengzi, a little crazy person. 我知道. By the way, for anybody who's watching, let us take this moment to learn how to properly pronounce the name of the Chinese. Is he the vice premier? Not one announcer on TV says his name correctly. It's spelled H-E. It is pronounced He. His name is Liu He. Everybody practice that now. Liu He. He's the guy we have to convince to stop stealing intellectual property, start playing by the rules. Otherwise, your little piggies in China are not going to have enough soybeans to eat. Brazil cannot fill that demand. And over here, meanwhile, I want everybody to eat roast pork and edamame as often as possible to support our American farmers. Although I have to say, looking at the way those piggies that they export to China are all in a corral, it's like worse than the way we raise chickens, for crying out loud. I think we ought to have a big movement in this country for free-range organic pork that's farmed sustainably, and let them eat some nice natural grasses and maybe the odd truffle, and go back to the old ways. Nothing like a nice pig that's eaten. In the old Chinese days, everybody had a pig in the backyard and they got all the scraps, and so the meat tasted a lot better. Anyway, here we go. This is probably the look I'm gonna be rocking in I don't know, in November. But it's probably all gonna come in gray, because what you're looking at now is L'Oreal number 5 with a few highlights. And I don't know if after I have this whole ordeal, if I'm ever gonna color my hair again. I think I may just go with whatever comes in and just wear the brown wig when I want to be a brunette. Is it time for the buzz machine yet?
I'm trying to get as much as...
Oh, I see. Okay, all right. Watch out, that's my power port. Don't get hair in my power port.
It's fine, you're gonna wash it.
I know, but when you just rubbed your hand...
And you can put a
You just rubbed your...
We should have put a towel over you.
You just rubbed your hand over it, and I don't want to get...
I didn't rub it.
Germs.
I didn't get... Did I rub on it?
Yes, you did, hygiene police. Nurse Ratched. By the way, if you haven't watched the interview on YouTube with Michael Douglas talking about how they made One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. It is really worth your time. And the other night, just because I wanted to explain to Mr. Wang here who Nurse Ratched was, since I was invoking her name on a regular basis. So I watched the movie again for the first time in, I don't know, like 20 years. And now that I'm actually writing screenplays on a regular basis and reading lots of other writers' screenplays in my screenwriting group, I was just so impressed with the dialogue. And of course, Jack Nicklaus did quite a bit of improvisation in that, but what a great script. So go back and watch that movie again. And now I want you to try to imagine Mildred Ratched as a millennial Chinese who was raised by evil communists and who's a really good nurse and who observes very strict hygiene protocol. I notice other people on chemo, they're like still going out to restaurants and they can still like get a milkshake at McDonald's, but not me. Everything has to be prepared here in-house by Nurse Ratched. And I have to
go to the ER fast.
They also go to the ER with infections. My son can confirm that there were people with chemo and who had infections waiting in the emergency room at University Medical Center for like 6 hours. And I don't want to be one of those people. So I am observing the protocols. Okay, hurry up. We need to wrap this up. We need to get this little buzz saw going. That's what everybody's waiting for.
You want the whole thing out, right?
Shave it. Take it off, baby. I do think I look something like John Handy. He's got a similar shaped face. Now, this is actually an historic moment because when I was about less than a month, I was born with relatively long black hair for, you know, a white girl. And it was the heat of the summer of 1955, and my older brother Sam had a nice crew cut, so my father had one of these machines, and my mother made the mistake of going out shopping one day and leaving Dad alone to babysit for me and Sam. And she had like a little yellow bow tied in my hair. She loved to dress me up because, you know, I was her little girl. And I was crying, I guess, which I didn't do very much because supposedly I was a very happy baby. And my father just comes in with the buzz machine like this and shaves my head. And my mother comes back with her little shopping bags and is just horrified that now she doesn't have one baldy bean kid, she's got two baldy bean kids. That's what my father always called us, baldy beans, my brothers. We used to rub their fuzzy little heads. And well, this is an interesting look. This isn't really what I thought I would look like, but just going for the neck now. Just stay away from the jugular with that thing, okay?
Do you know where the jugular is?
It's up here, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's very close to my pancoast. Well, one slip of the wrist and it could all be history. It's very close to my pancoast tumor, which is why when I have my surgery in July, it's going to be done with a robot, because the robot can more precisely get at my tumor. Okay, well, I think we've had enough for now. I'll stop and edit this film and show you the full after effect. I think you're all kind of getting the message, okay? Ciao.